your dad. I've got Dr. Scholl's in my Converse now, so I can jump up and down on stage. I'm getting old, but I can still get it up for you. So sit back and pass gas, cause it's time to relax for the Caffeine and Coffins podcast.
For a dog.
Okay, sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is first. It's my second cup this morning.
It's my second cup too. I guess we should intro this. We're
Yeah.
going to be a little awkward.
Yeah.
Caffeine and Coffins.
Caffeine and Coffins. We've done it. We've
Podcast
arrived.
about
Maybe the first and last. We'll see.
this could be the first. It's definitely
It could
the
be.
first. It could
It's
be the
definitely the
last.
first. Yeah.
What's it about, CJ? What's this podcast about?
So our inspiration is really just coming from each other, which I think is like what bros should do. We should be inspired by each other and challenged by each other. So this is Musicians Over 30 podcast. That's really the basic gist of it.
Coming from each other.
Not
with each other, just from each other.
Not with each other. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's we both have similar tastes. We've been doing early morning coffees. We've done 6:30. We've done 7 a.m. We've done 7:30. We keep getting later. I've noticed you're asking me to come out later.
Dude, because I can't get up this, we have two very different lives.
We do. We do. You're
very
still living the
very
teenage
different.
life where you
I
stay
know.
up late and get up late.
I feel like I'm like a 35-year-old teenager, but I also
You look like one,
I
too.
have a bunch of 35-year-old responsibilities.
Yeah.
Too. Some similar to yours, some different to yours, but we still fucking rock and roll.
That's right. Well, I'm a dad and he's a daddy, so that's
Yeah.
where our
Yeah.
similarities start to split.
Big difference. Both married though.
Both married. You
You got a few years on me for that.
I do.
but
I'm
both married.
sitting in my 13th year. What do you got?
We just had our seven
Congrats,
years.
man.
Yeah. Yep. So
Is that 2 weeks ago? right?
it was in June 25th. June 25th.
Okay, so a few more. Nice.
So, anyways, that's what this
Is
podcast is about. We got coffee today from a
Yes.
spot in Athens called Sips.
Sips Coffee.
And,
Locally.
a local.
brewed and-
CJ wanted me to get the barista's name.
I did.
And her name.
Okay.
CJ was very adamant about we want the barista's name. So
Yeah.
her name
Barista.
is Cashier D.
Cashier D.
Yeah, she was great.
Is it just a D or is it DEE?
It's capital Cashier D. I wonder how this crinkling sounds.
I wonder- yeah.
But that was our barista at Sips in Athens, Georgia. Sit coffee shop.
Yeah.
Cashier D.
Cashier D.
Let me first, before we get started on this
Okay.
podcast, this podcast that is about musicians that are DIY, getting older, and still fucking doing it.
Yeah.
So that was our inspiration. So caffeine, we drink some coffee, we talk about it, keeps us running. But
Maybe one day we'll do like an afternoon and we'll just do monsters.
we'll do monsters. Monsters in
It still falls
it
into
could
the
be
category.
monsters in the morning.
Well, that's a different problem.
So I got CJ's coffee order this morning, and CJ would like a medium mocha with oat milk.
That's right.
So I had to order that.
I didn't specify if it was hot or iced, though. I feel like with the weather, I should have gotten iced, but I didn't want to hear the.
Yeah, that's a
every
good
time I
call.
took a
She
drink.
aust me if you wanted ice too. She's like, is that hot or ice?
You made
I
an
was-
executive decision.
and I said, I'm making his decisions today.
That's right.
And I said, I'm gonna do hot.
Good. I
So-
appreciate it. No, it was the right call. I didn't want to do ice, but I also wanted to leave it up to you and see if you could survive on your own
It's got
decision making skills.
It's got my critical thinking skills. It's got the hot coffee has a nice look to it.
Yeah.
But you can't drink it with two hands. No man should be drinking their coffee
There
with
you
two
go.
hands.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
we're gonna get canceled before
Now,
the
I
episode's
think
even over.
I think if
But-
when it gets to PSL season, which will be coming up, and we get there and I ask you for a PSL,
Mhm.
I'm going to be drinking that with two hands.
We could edit this in. What is a PSL? Ding, and we'll have PSL pop
Okay.
up there.
Yeah.
Just a nice little pumpkin
because
spice
people
latte.
know basic people don't know what that is.
No. And when you're 35 and still playing music,
Yeah.
you're a basic bitch.
That's true.
And
That's true.
here we are.
So I think I don't know where you wanted to start with this, but I thought we talked a little bit about, and we've been saving ourselves, audience. So like we've been saving ourselves for marriage when it came to this podcast.
I've been
this
saving
union-
myself for CJ.
This
yes.
union, yeah. Like we've seen each other like 3-4 times this week. 3 times this week, and it's been like, well, don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. We want to save it for the podcast. We want to talk about it. So
Save it for the podcast.
I don't think our relationship here will suffer, but I think our relationship outside of here is going to get a lot.
Yeah,
it's just sitting in silence.
The tension. Hey man, you want to come over and sit?
Yeah, you want to. You know, I got some Guinness.
Cool. Well, I got some ideas for the podcast today, and we're slowly developing and figuring this out. I would like to quick shout out. How good does my hair look today? It looks good.
It looks good. It looks good. I spent a lot more time on my hair this morning than I should have.
Yeah, I mean, I just woke up like that. I put a little bit of my defrizzer in it.
Did you?
Other than that, man, I mean, it looks good today.
So let's talk about hair products for a second. So you're using the defrizzer. Is that normally all you use?
It's just something Jenna got for me because she said my hair was too big.
I love when your hair like come over. It's like fro.
Like
yesterday morning was a little.
I'm trying to grow it.
Frotastic.
Yeah, it was a little big.
I use sexy hair. It comes in a blue container. And then
I rub that in there.
And then I spray it a little bit just to make sure. I like that. I think there's 2 types of musicians when you do get over 30, where you've got the ones that are overly groomed, and it's a little like there's too much gel and there's too much spike, and they're trying too hard. And then you have the Athenian musician, which I would say you have become, which is where you just roll out of bed, and that's how you go to a show. You throw on the same hoodie, the same jacket, the same T-shirt, the same pants, same shoes. You know,
I have 1 pair of pants.
You have 2. You have the blue ones that stained my downstairs wall, and then
blue pants?
Yeah, you have the blue jeans that you bought, and you were sitting on the bar and stained the front of the bar blue.
I actually let those go. But I know the ones you're talking about. I need to get a new pair.
Did they rip in the crotch?
Yeah, well, the knees are all ripped, and they were just getting
red?
They were getting a little too tight on me, especially
Maybe
for
you were getting a little bit too big for them.
That could have been happening.
Yeah.
It's a genital problem, really.
Okay, so well, if you get another pair, you're gonna go blue, or you're gonna just do black.
I mean, I like black, but I feel like it'd be good to have a blue pair. Just change it up a little bit.
So I find I don't want to derail this too much, but I do like talking about the musician look thing.
Yeah,
and we've talked about this.
I feel like
before.
there's can be a whole episode on that.
There could be.
I'd like to introduce like we're just here talking about hair gel and and tight jeans. Which are the struggles of
they are staples.
At what point do you just accept pure comfort and then?
I think you have shoe wise. Shoe wise, you've accepted.
Oh, I love these. These are my slips.
I will continue to wear Chucks.
That's just so much work.
Now,
I sat here before we started and I watched CJ change shoes.
I did. But it was from one pair of Chucks to the other.
It was very time consuming.
Yeah.
It's very time consuming.
The high laces and all that.
Yeah, very time consuming.
Now I will say, in spite of always wearing Chucks, I do wear the nice inserts, like the thicker ones.
Oh,
because when you're jumping,
like some Dr. Scholl's.
They're not Dr. Scholl's, but they're just they're like a foam insert. So when you're jumping up and down on stage and crap like that, I'm very heel heavy, so I tend to slam into the ground.
Yeah, I get some. They're looking a little rough right now.
Yeah,
I got some inserts.
It's pieces falling out.
You
my
need
floor.
it though. You need it though.
All right. So what do you got for us this morning?
So I was thinking we could just get into okay, how old are you?
33.
33. I'm 35. I was just curious. Okay, so CJ's 33. He plays in a dope band called Murder the Mood. Mm-hmm. I would describe you as rock and roll emo. Does that make sense? Do you agree with that?
I don't disagree with it. I am pretty emo.
Lyrically,
it's very emo.
Though. You guys have a rock and roll vibe.
Yeah.
You so
I've always just fallen into the alternative rock bucket.
I guess you could
but it doesn't. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I'll look up on Spotify or whatever. It'll be the alternative mix, and it's Ariana Grande's on there, and I'm I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Come on. We gotta have filters at some point.
No hate on Ariana.
Not everybody's included.
Right. It's just not. It's not something I would Hey, listen to us this morning, and then next up on the track is, Imagine Dragons, or just don't. That doesn't make sense.
So, anyways, you've got Murder the Mood. You've had Murder the Mood for how many years?
I think we're at 9 years right now.
We've had the band for 9 years. Yeah. So you started when you're about 20. How old did you say? 33. 33. So you started when you were 20.
Do the math.
Yeah, you were 24.
Okay, thanks.
Cool, got it. How many bands have you had?
Iteration. One thing I've tried to do, which I will commend.
That doesn't sound like a number.
Commend. Hold on. 19-year-old me for is I never changed the name of the groups or the bands. I just kept one name, and then there was new iterations with musicians. So The first one was so stupid, but it was the CJ Hoty band.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't, it was like we kept changing out musicians, and I was like, we shouldn't pick a name because
That would
who
have been
knows?
good to do at the beginning of this. Like, I'm CJ and I'm Dan.
I'm not worried about it.
Anyways.
So
Okay.
so we had this CJ Hoty band, which I had in Ohio where I grew up, and we played like a bunch of bars like Lakewood. We played Peabody's downtown, which doesn't even exist anymore. The Basement, bunch of DNA clubs. Yeah, all clubs, and it was like it was hard because people couldn't pronounce my last name. It was frustrating because I felt like the sound changed every time we got a new musician added. You change drummers, it changes the sound.
True.
Especially when you don't have like a ton of recorded material, so they're kind of like making things up for it. And then when we moved down here in 2011, I think is when we moved here. Maybe it was later than that.
To Athens.
To Athens, right. Then I had this name in mind. Before I moved here, I had held on to the name Murder the Mood. And it came from the like going into clubs, and there were like a bunch of like garage bands and ska bands and punk bands, stuff like that. And then we would get on stage, and it was whatever the mood or the vibe was. I just wanted to just murder it and it wasn't a good thing because there was all these bands playing that were disinteresting. For I mean, the audience was like talking. They were at the bar. They were doing other things. They were like only their like core girlfriends or mom and dads were like doing polite claps and stuff like that. And so I just wanted to like come in and destroy that and be like hit the stage very quickly and just have a vibe that people could connect with. And so I wanted to murder just the droll dull experience that people were having.
Just murder everything.
Murder it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was Murder the Mood. So I brought that down here, and then we started Murder the Mood in 2013.
So Murder the Mood really is, I mean, I know you've had a bunch of bandmates that have, not a bunch, but a few that have revolved over the years.
Yeah.
So it's really your second like band project. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you did the CJ Hoty band, how old were you when you started it?
17.
Okay.
18,
so
17.
Okay, you're now 33. We've been over that. How old is CJ? 33.
Right.
You're still playing original music. You're DIYing it. And it's I know I've known you for a while. It's a huge part of your life. We're actually in CJ's studio right now. You play local shows on the regular. I would say at least once a month. You're putting out records. It's a fucking ton of work. Especially to do it well. And
do a full-time job and be a dad and be a husband,
dad, do all these
be your
things.
best friend.
So do you remember like what got you hooked on like not maybe it was just playing guitar, but like the band thing, like because for you to be 33, you have a house, a career, this and that, and you're still like fucking running on music. That has to make a huge music or being in a band, and I think this is really what the podcast may be about. Has had to make a fucking enormous impact on your life for you to make sure that there's time for it and to make sure that it evolves. So do you remember what got you? Was there like a moment or a period in time, or is there anything pivotal that happened in your life that made you be like, yo, like this is sick and I have to have it?
So what's the question?
You know what I mean? Like a pivotal moment in your life. Yeah, this is me getting around. A pivotal moment in your life
around that bush
that you were like, I'm gonna make music, release music, and
like
do bands
are you saying
whether
like
I make it or not.
After the other responsibilities like came into play? You talking more at that
just
level?
Just like why did you first start doing bands? Like what was it?
I was really young. I started playing drums at 10 and got a trash kit, literally. And then I played a lot of like with like church and stuff like that. And then my mom is classically trained in music. And then my dad was the polar opposite of that. So he was just like self-taught. Do you remember when like like music stores used to have, and they still do a little bit. They used to have those like tutorial books and like
I used to buy Blink-182 tutorial books.
Yeah, and
didn't learn anything. But.
So he got like the was it David Lee Roth, or I can't remember who it was, but there was like a tutorial book and stuff, and it was like a bunch of classic like Eric Clapton stuff, Cream, you know, bunch of Crossroads was in there and all that. And so he got this like Strat and this really nice acoustic and like just self-taught. And we had, you know, a grand piano in the house as long as I've been around, and guitars and stuff. And so it was like, my mom was like trying to train me in music theory and how to read music, and which I don't remember anything, by the way, from that. And then my dad.
Are you even reading like in general right now?
No.
No, okay.
I'm more of a movie guy. I'm very visual.
Okay.
Film. And so like there was always music around, and then I was insanely interested in being the guy in the back just playing drums, not writing, not creating, just somebody else creates it and I get to play along with it.
Because you're such a slut for attention.
I know.
Now.
I am.
You know.
I am.
That's
the lead guitarist syndrome and all that. And then I just eventually I got into Phil Keggy, who was my absolute idol guitar wise, and then I saw him live at like some high school or something like that.
When you say you got into him, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I found a cassette in the basement that my uncle had dubbed, and it was Love Broke Through, and there was this track called Time on it, and it was just the coolest riff driven. I've still strive to play that riff. It's so cool. And so once I started getting into him and saw him live, I was just like, I want to be a guitarist and I only want to play lead. So then it wasn't
Boom,
writing though.
There's the answer to the question that I asked in the beginning. Okay. It took us a few minutes to get there.
Well, I mean,
but
you and me.
No, it's cool though, because you go through it and you find that like you getting that Phil Phil Keggy cassette in a basement.
Yeah.
And you heard a song called Time. Like right here, like your entire like speech, like I could tell,
which we can cut down.
No, I mean it's cool because you get there. I could tell that was a pivot. I could see it on your face. I could see your pants rise a little bit. Yeah. Like that was a pivotal point in your life where you were like, boom, I want to play fucking guitar.
Yeah.
Like I want to play lead.
Yeah, I want to be the best lead guitarist.
And this is sick.
Yeah.
Like everything else seemed like it was like a slow burn build. Well, there's music in the family.
It's not something I feel any kinship to anymore.
Yeah. But man, when you got into that, it was just like, boom, pivotal point. So you hear Phil Keggy, Time, and you're like, fuck yeah, this is sick.
Like I've never learned something so quickly as guitar, because it was like, it wasn't a struggle. It was a passion. It was just like learning like, you know, major pentatonic scales, all that stuff, minor pentatonic, and just playing those nonstop until it was grilled into my brain. I can hear any song and figure out the key very quickly and just play along with anything.
Yeah,
and
CJ's very talented.
So now we got to flip it to you though.
So
before we go any further,
I just think it's cool though, because you got all that stuff, like whatever, like but you listened to this cassette, you heard this song, and you would not be sitting here right now had you not heard that song "Time" by Phil Keggy. You wouldn't be married to your wife, possibly. You probably you wouldn't have your daughter.
Well, no, that's true though. Okay, so
you wouldn't have this house.
That is true,
because you met her at the coffee shop. Your entire life is shaped around a song, dude.
Yeah.
Your entire life is shaped around a song, and
how much are you charging for this therapy that you're providing?
I'm just saying that's fucking dope. That's why we have this, dude. Like,
you're right.
And like
self-discovery.
Like it's awesome. I think that's so cool. And I think a lot of people have probably a similar story. Yeah. Pivotal.
So what was yours? What was the moment when
I thought you'd never?
I know. I'm getting there. What was the moment that for you wanted?
Body?
Yeah, that you was that Uncle Jack?
Yeah.
What was the moment for you when you were like, I'm committing to music full time? Because you had a little bit of a success. You got some
the full time thing.
Yeah, like you had some sponsors for music, and
I had a pivotal moment like yours. Like I did grow up. Like my mom got me guitar lessons when I was really little. We can see how well those hold up. But like it was just like at the local music store, and a guy
she gave you guitar lessons, and now you play bass.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like a guy.
Mom, the extra 2 strings are too much. Let's go back to 4.
Let's go back. It's like a guy. It's like a guy teaching you Jingle Bells, and you're like, I'm like a kid. Like I'm like this fucking sucks. Like I don't care about this. So it didn't mean anything to me. And I was like a skater kid, total skateboard kid.
Still wearing the Vans.
Yep, would skate all day. I'm wearing the knockoff Vans now.
Well, don't say that on the air.
Walmart.
Faded glory.
Yeah. And so skateboard kid, like all I did was skate. Anyways, went out on a trip summer of 8th grade.
Okay.
I went out to
Is this a school trip?
No, just went out to California with my mom to visit her sister and like my cousins. Okay. And my cousin was like a year or 2 older than me. And
what's your cousin's name?
His name's Anthony, great musician. Shout out Anthony Pistati. He owns Pistati Amps. They build custom amps. Check them out.
Whoa.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
I've never talked about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, Anthony rules.
Anthony,
he was really into like SoCal punk rock.
Yeah. It's a big scene.
Strictly pretty much in the Christian scene. So he was listening to like MXPX.
God, I love MXPX so
Slick Shoes. I think Slick Shoes, maybe they were in that.
Slick Shoes.
I could be wrong about that. He was listening
Reliant K.
POD, Reliant K, like that era. So the guy from POD lived right down the street from him. Anyways, he listened to like Blink-182 and stuff a little bit, but it like not really. I think it was probably like not allowed in his house and stuff.
I mean, I didn't grow up listening to Blink at all.
But he had a so he was like trying to get me into some stuff, and I was like, this is cool. And he was so into it. Yeah. But I was like, I want to go in the driveway and skateboard. And anyways, there wasn't like
was he playing guitar at this point? Or?
He was playing guitar,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And anyway, so we had, him and I had to stay. I was about 14, so he must have been 15, 16.
Yeah.
We had to stay, or maybe I was 13, doesn't matter. We had to stay
13 and a half.
In there was like a pop-up camper, like in the driveway.
Oh yeah.
You know, extra. So him and I just hung out in there. Like that's where we
smoked weed.
Slept at night. No, none of that. He's
oh
a
right,
good boy.
straight
He's
laced.
a good boy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't smoking weed yet. And anyway, so he had a burnt Blink-182 CD, and he showed it to me, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
Hold on. He had a Blink-182.
It was burnt. It just said Blink-182 on it.
But he wasn't into Blink-182.
He was like kind of into them. He's like, I like this too. Like you might like this, but I don't really listen to them that much. I don't like them as much.
Good for you, not for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I listened to it, and track 5 came, and they were all. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to guess it, but keep going.
Track 5 came on. What song do you think that is?
So let me ask you first, clarifying question. Was it a mixed CD or was it the exact CD?
It was Dude Ranch, the exact CD. Burnt.
I'm going to really just out myself here for not being a big enough Blink-182 fan. Like,
that's fine.
Go ahead, tell me.
It's a song called Dick Lips. It's like, please, Mom, you ground me all the time. Like total like 14-year-old skater kid getting in trouble, and like, it just like it's kind of a silly song, and but it fucking connected with me so hard. And the second the song was done, I just got up, I walked over to the little shitty like Sony CD player, and I hit this is the first time like I engaged, and I hit replay, and I just absolutely fell in love with whatever it was. I didn't know how to describe it. Like I didn't know there was different. I didn't know pop punk versus punk rock versus this main. I didn't know any of that shit. But all I knew was like, I fucking love this, and like whatever this is, like I need to be a part of it. I don't even care about my skateboard. Like whatever this is, I need to be a part of it. So I was obsessed. I just listened to that record over and over and over and over. And I got home, and I was like, I had some friends that were like kind of like trying to do a band, and they were just like skater friends, and I was like, I want to be involved. Like, what can I do?
So go back, because obviously, again, the moment clicks for you, or it's just the excitement, the spark.
Boom. Yeah.
So was it that you were like, I want to be a part of the scene? I want to play something that could sound like Dick Lips live? Is it like what is it that you wanted to be a part of?
I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know. I just whatever it was, however I felt, the connection I felt to it, I just wanted to be a part of it. So I was like, I guess I got to be a musician.
So you go back. Your friends are starting.
Friends are they're like, oh well, you could like sing, and I was like, cool, yeah, sure. Didn't know
Did you
anything
want to
about
sing?
it, and I didn't like I couldn't. I still can barely do it, but like I didn't understand like timing and like coming in. I just didn't understand.
Well, neither did Tom. So
yeah, exactly. So he's in. So got the notes. My buddy was like, well, just like, why don't we play? We need a bass player, so play bass. It doesn't matter.
Who were the two guys in there?
My buddy Corey and my buddy Shauna.
Okay.
And they so anyways, they would get me tabs, and I read the tabs backwards, like you know how tabs
Same.
are. You know,
I write them
like,
backwards still.
This is wrong. Like, you know, anyway, so learn how to play that, blah, 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 blah. We had this like pop punk band. It was called Fluid Ounce. We practiced a ton.
It's a good name.
We finally played, we got it off an orange soda can. We played
really off of any can.
We played a battle.
We
played at a battle. Well, we always drank Orange Crush. Anyways, we played a battle of the bands in my high school, which was like full of like funk bands and like hardcore bands, and we played as a pop punk band. We played this battle of the bands, and we sucked, but the school fucking dogged on us so hard,
really,
for so long, and like yeah, and I didn't give a shit. I fucking fell in love when I played that show. I was like, I'm figuring this out, and like once you play once you play live, you're just like, for some people it just ticks off, and you're just like, I fucking love this. So, you know, blah, 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 to finish school. I've played in a million bands, traveled all over the place, played bands. But that was the moment for me that was just like, was Blink-182, Dick Lips. And I was just like, I didn't even know what it was, man. But I knew that I was going to have it forever.
Did they play that song at the show?
Yeah, I don't even know when the last time they played it. We played it at Red Hot Athenian Summer. We did. We played it. Yeah, I'll show you the song after.
Yeah, show me after. That'd be good.
But yeah, that's the moment.
Wow. So let's fast forward for each other. Remember the point here. So now, audience, you've gotten a little bit of the Dan and CJ pivotal moments. Also, if you can hear my stomach just going off throughout this whole thing, it's been great.
Yeah. Well, you got a belly full of semen. So what are you gonna do?
And that and the hopefully this is oat milk. I swear to God.
I swear to God, I put oat milk in it.
He just brought me just
sir,
whole milk.
Sir, we're out of oat milk. You know what?
Fine.
I got it.
Don't even worry about it.
I got it.
So now we've got, you know, long-term relationships, successful relationships. We've got, you know, our band rooms in our own houses. We're playing locally. We're traveling to Atlanta to play. We have some similar streams there. We played Red Hot Athenian Summer 2-3 weeks ago together at 40 Watt. So where do you think like you still get the drive and motivation now? Because I think that there's people who get to their 30s and 40s and it just, how many times do you like talk to somebody and you're telling them about their band? They're like, oh man, yeah, I used to play. I was in 2 bands here in Athens or Atlanta, but I, you know, I had to hang it up, man. You know, I got kids and a house, and I'm kind of like, yeah, dude, so do I. Like, so what keeps you going now? Yeah,
no, I do. I think that's such a good question, and I feel like we may have similar answers. And my answer,
same time, ready? No.
Yeah, I know, right? My answer would be like, because I fucking love it, and I have to do it.
You have to. There's no, it's a self-motivation that you have your own battery specifically built for music.
And I do, you know, I do a cover band. I've got That's Rad.
That's Rad.
And the shows are really fun, and they feel a really good. They feel like this is honest, vulnerable. They feel a really good spot. Yeah. You know, because you get to play a sick show, people are enjoying it. But like, I absolutely love writing original music in my room. Same. I love writing it, and like, I would love nothing more to have that same reaction like live for it. You know what I mean? Like that would be. But it's just
good luck.
I've got good luck, right? But best of both worlds. But yeah, I because I love it and I have to do it. So
talk about that for a second though. So
what about you? Like
exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
Same thing. I think I do have a tweak to it. So I think you are someone, go back for it, you're someone who goes through waves of inspiration, waves
100%.
of creating an a credible live show
Mm-hmm.
that people can engage with. I mean, all the stuff that y'all do with That's Rad and the themes that you guys come up with and the giveaways and the buy-in from the community and things that I wish that I could dial into as well. You've got that, but then you also have the swing where you're not booking a lot of shows and then you're just in the studio, from like noon to 3 a.m. I don't hear from you. We don't talk. I think you hate me for a whole week because you don't talk to me.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I got to be more aware of your needs.
Please. And then we go out for coffee and you're like, dude, I've got this incredible song. I'm freaking out. You got to listen to it, which I love. I love that type of excitement. I'm like, play it.
Yeah.
I go through, I don't have those two outlets. The cover band that fulfills one need of incredible audience reaction. I have only original music and there's like half that reaction on the dial. And then I've got recording, and I have been recording. I've had a recording machine since I was 14 years old.
Recording machine. TJ just had his 67th birthday.
No, because it is. It is. I'm looking at it. It's a machine. It's just like a 16 track console, right?
Now, do you wear your Depends when you record, or do you take them off for recording?
I like to
and
be
keep
sitting.
Your teeth in
I like
or
to
out?
be sitting on the bedpan so that when I can't,
when you're using your record machine.
That's right, the record machine.
Your recording
I also
machine.
press my own next door. Yeah, so I have been recording and so excited about creating your own sounds at home and finding the instruments and the pedals and the effects that you can create or match the sound of your favorite band live. So I go through. I could not play out live for a couple months and be absolutely fine because I was creating something so exciting here. Mm-hmm. And that's what we did with our latest album. It was like, yes, we were playing out live, and I was like doing that to talk about what we were going to release. Mm-hmm. But I could be just as fulfilled recording and mixing and engineering and getting a song mastered and hearing that development as I would live.
Okay. On 3, you're gonna say either playing a dope ass live show, or recording and writing. So
those are my
dope ass live show or recording and writing.
Just forever, or what do you
like? That's it.
That's it.
1, 2, 3.
Recording and writing.
Yeah. I feel you, man. Like I love doing live shows, but like there is an insane sense of gratification I get being in the studio, and like I get like straight up like fucking manic.
Oh,
I'll get in the studio and I'm like, dude, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm dancing in there. Yeah. I'm just like this. I love that. I am my biggest fan. Yeah. I'm obsessed with my own music. Yeah. Obsessed with it. Listen to it all the time. I love it, and it's extremely personal, and hopefully it connects with others. But like, I love it.
I will say, going back to the attention slut piece, I do really, really, really need that validation as well, even if it's from my own wife, where I finish an incredible solo or a really cool.
Ever honest though? Completely honest.
Yes.
She'll tell you it sucks.
Yes.
Okay.
Or not that it sucks, but that she there's something that doesn't come off. She doesn't get it. She's like the best person to bounce things off of because she is the true listener.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what's happening what went into it.
Jenna is too.
And so she can just sit here and be like, I hear this.
Yeah.
Or, I can be like, I'll like, do you like it this way or you like it this way? She's like, I don't hear the difference. So she's all about the full package. Yeah. So the full song is the best thing to share with her.
Right, yeah.
So I want someone to come into my studio. I love when we have parties. Mm-hmm. We did it yesterday. Yeah. We have parties, and then I'll grab like 2 or 3 people and be like, we're going to the studio, and I'll play whatever I've released or I'm going to release, or give people a heads up because it takes so long to release a song. You got to if I have something in process, I can share it with you here, but I got to mix it, I got to master it, I got to get it back. I want to get it through distribution and release singles. This album is taking forever to get out and it's driving me nuts, but I'm gratified because I've shared with you the whole album. Yeah. And you gave me some feedback and Kenny, of course, and Joy. And it's like, I also want people to come in the studio and hear what I've done.
I know. It's like, there's like a balance. It's like, I want some insight, but also like, I do have a big picture for a song in my head.
Yes.
And I just want to fucking blow you away with
good comma there. That was good.
with with the final piece.
Yeah.
But you've got, I think it's good to like have a select few people maybe that you show stuff to instead of just showing it to everybody. Like, oh yeah, here's the demo version. Like, anyways, yeah. So
that's good.
we both landed on that. That's it. We're here. We're here doing music still. DIY and 35. That's me. Yeah, because we fucking love it and we have to do it.
We do.
That's why Caffeine Coffins is here.
And I think we'll hopefully have a little bit of a track to play. Is that the goal?
Yeah. So this week I've got Here Be Monsters. It's a guy.
Here Be Monsters.
Here Be
That's
Monsters.
how you have to say it.
Cool name. Here Be Monsters.
Here Be Monsters.
Here Be Monsters.
That's good.
Anyways, Here Be Monsters. He's an artist in Athens, Georgia. It's folk punk. I love folk punk.
Lyrics are great.
If you like bands like Ramshackle Glory, I always kind of compare him to that. Anyways, Here Be Monsters. He's got a new track coming out soon, and you're going to get a sneak preview here on our critically acclaimed podcast.
Oh yeah, do we have permission to do that?
We do.
Sweet.
It's called.
Thanks, dude.
It's called Liminal Space. It's coming up on his upcoming CD. It's going to be an EP, which is the Liminal Space EP. So this is a title track.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the song. Here Be Monsters. Liminal Space. Thanks for tuning in to Caffeine and Coffins, where we're getting old playing music and we are going to die.
Yes, and please subscribe so that you can hear the next episode after this.
Well, I've been somewhat disappointed with the calm blue waters out at sea. 'Cause while they make for smoother sailing, it's not what the ocean's meant to be. It once was a raging torrent that swallowed sailors where they dared to breathe. Beyond the shifting shoreline borders, where they had no business being. But lately I've been looking at the waters, calm and clear and flat and everything. That makes me wonder if this way is better, and if that older age should cease. Or just a minute's fucking peace. It feels like either would suffice. It feels like both would bring release. But what comes after the lightning? What's left in the wake of the waves? Is the aftermath more than I can take? These old waters really need a break. These old waters really need a break. These old waters really need a break. I see an endless horizon of cresting waters that swell and break. I see an endless horizon. I see unlimited liminal space. That you pretend to not notice when I'm struggling at the end of my rope. I think it's easier for you to look look away than stay and watch me choke. And we can swing here forever, sure as nooses come and gallows go. But we'll swing back again in different forms when we're sucked into the undertow. When we're sucked into the undertow. When we're sucked into the undertow. I am an endless horizon.